Good evening, travelers, and welcome to another episode of Let's Make a Game, the show where we give you an inside look on the development process of It Stares Back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the initial design process of the game's main character, the Noble Guide. Prepare yourself for mystery and intrigue as we explore the perilous world of the Great Tapestry. Fair luck, travelers. In this video, I'm only going to cover the first sketches of the exploration phase. We had a couple of ideas in mind, but when we started this a few weeks ago, or months ago now even, our core concept was a little more fluid. We were still getting some more things set in stone. And I wanted to use the main character as an excuse to better find those themes and aesthetics. We had a few ideas in mind before starting. Owls, because the majority of the gameplay is from Hex's perspective, this sort of robotic owl figure. And so we knew that he's sort of a companion to your player character. So we knew that there had to be some core themes that tied in. So owls and robotic elements and circuitry, as well as more druidic nature themes, because your goal is to reclaim this tattered world. And I wanted to make sure that came through in the design. So I started by just doing a quick set of sketches and thumbnails. We did a whole line of images. We ended up getting some cool ideas from it, like some of the robotic elements, but for the most part, we ended up kind of binning the majority of those because we wanted something that was a little bit more human in silhouette. At first it was fun to have this sort of robotic character who had like just sort of pegs for legs or little steel rods for arms, but eventually we set on something more relatable. Here's another early sketch we did. I actually was collaborating with Ben, our music lead. While painting this one up, he was working on sort of searching some synth effects and sounds, so I had him over Skype playing out these sort of elaborate and fun wandering cybernetic sort of landscapes and stuff. We ended up not using the majority of these elements. We sort of ended up taking a darker tone on the game than what this image entails. The goal here for this speed paint was to just cement the themes a little bit more, get a better sense of what we wanted, what we liked in the character. I knew I wanted a character that felt like a warrior, but also like something you wanted to look after. And that was a hard balance to find. The reason we wanted something, a face that you would want to almost protect, is because It Stares Back is a horror-themed game. And you don't want your main character to just be this strong, badass figure, because then you're not afraid for them. So I wanted to create a face or helmet that looked owl-like or something cute. So I looked up a lot of pictures of mice and like woodland creatures that invoke a lot of sympathy. But we'll get into that in the later episode. This one is more about the whole character's design silhouette. I wanted to take the three sort of core ideas we had and just split them up into three sketches and work them up at once. So on the left, I have the flight-related themes. You're looking at the game through this flying owl's perspective, so I wanted your character to kind of have like some cool flight suit elements. So I tried sort of combining a flight suit with sort of traditional Italian Renaissance era garb. The middle one was more druidic. The material the character's wearing in that one is something closer to like tanned hide, with some cybernetic elements. And then the third one was much more purely sci-fi. I wanted to do something a little bit more neuromancery, Blade Runner-y. What I ended up doing at the end is pulling my favorite aspects of each one. For this character, I wanted to take that extra time and play and search. And while we're on the subject of playing, I want to talk about failure and how important it is to the development and especially the ideation process. Even in a professional environment, you want to set yourself up with buffers that allow you to fail, because we're human. We're always making mistakes, trying to correct and fix, and very often some of your best ideas can be taken out of those mistakes. I was in a figure drawing class, and a good friend of mine came over, a very talented painter, and he's always drawing this model on this really low quality paper. And he said, "Be careful with newsprint." And I said, "Oh, it's okay. I'm not trying to do like a great work here. I'm just trying to like work up some sketches." And he said, "Yes, but still, be careful with newsprint because you'll do your best drawings on it." And what he meant was essentially that when you go in with the mentality that you're not necessarily going to create anything perfect or incredible, you're just kind of playing around and sandboxing, your confidence is going to go up dramatically because there's a lot less pressure. I personally get a big rush out of just being able to play and explore and find all these new things, and when you take away that pressure of it being perfect the first go, it gets a lot easier. So I tried to do that for myself on this piece, especially since it was a lot more open. This character has to be right. It's the player character. I also wanted to make sure that the guide wasn't just relatable for your standard demographic of, young males playing a fantasy game. I wanted something a little bit more generally accessible. One of the fun things is that the guide doesn't really have a gender because the guide's a robot, so that never comes up. That's never an issue. You're the noble guide, and it's your goal to restore the world. Now, I didn't end up keeping any of these face designs. I spent a good deal of time, almost more on the helmet than on the armor itself, trying to get the face right, and that's probably what the next episode will be about. For the most part, you want to avoid doing a lot of tiny stuff of your character before you have a good silhouette. You want to make sure that your stance looks proper. I do go back and actually fix like the anatomy up, and I work up the anatomy fully. For this character, that wasn't really important. It would have been time wasted to get the anatomy looking absolutely perfect and him looking like he's actually standing and that he has something wrong with his spine. That all disappears once we get to the final drawing. But for these sketches, I just wanted something that gave the initial idea across to the team. The best part about showing your work before it's finished is that you're going to get some really good criticisms from your teammates. And that is more valuable than just about anything else. Learning how to take and give a critique is important for everybody on the team. If you've got all your perfect reflected lights in place, none of it really matters if the character just looks funny. Never be too afraid to show your work to people. Just preface that it's unfinished. You're going to get better critiques and help along the way. As it's been said, it takes a lot of fertilizer to grow something beautiful. So you got to make a lot of crap before something good grows out of it. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. We'll be back in probably 2 weeks with an update, either on this painting or on potentially Heartsinger Dahlia. Really excited about that one, so we might skip ahead and share that one with y'all. Basically, it's all up in the air right now, but we'll have something fun for you guys for sure. It's all exciting. We've got a lot of really neat stuff in the pipeline to share, and we're excited to share all of it and get it out there. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Travel safe, friends. Until we meet again.